he wishes to make.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and we're back, this time considering 4 spending bills whose funding runs out at the end of the month. I want to recognize the appropriators and staff on both sides who did real work here. They put in long hours, and I know these bills are very complicated and time-consuming to put together. I wouldn't go so far as to say this represents regular order. I've been around long enough where I remember when appropriation bills would come to the Rules Committee and we would spend 2 or 3 days on the House floor debating and voting on amendments. But in any event, the 3-bill minibus, Labor, HHS, Education, Defense, Transportation HUD, rejects President Trump's $163 billion in proposed cuts and continues to rein in the administration's lawlessness by prescribing specific funding levels and avoiding another CR. It includes increased funding for priorities like medical research, including at the NIH, opioid response, child care and Head Start, and funding to hire more than 2,500 air traffic controllers. And Democratic negotiators were able to block over 40 new poison pill Republican policy riders related to reproductive care, vaccines, sanctuary cities, and more. And I want to thank Ranking Member DeLauro in particular for her work in blocking these provisions. And I want to thank Chairman Cole. We don't always agree on everything, but I know that I know that you try to get the best possible product. But look, there'll be plenty of time on the floor to discuss these bills, and I trust my colleagues to have a spirited discussion about the merits of moving forward on this minibus. But I just want to say, in my opinion, these appropriation bills are frankly playing by a set of rules that no longer seem to exist. The President breaks the rules all the time. He's thrown the rule book out the window. And we cannot keep pretending like everything is normal around here. In my view, I wish these bills, in particular the defense bill, had more guardrails to rein in this administration, who thinks that that they can do whatever they want and following the law is optional. Look no further than ICE. This agency is out of control. Let's be absolutely clear here. ICE must be reined in. And I think ICE should actually be abolished. That's my view. We ought to start anew. It's such a tarnished agency. But at a very minimum, we should not be handing DHS a single cent more without strong, robust, foolproof guardrails and real accountability, especially when Republicans just enhanced DHS funding with $75 billion in their big, ugly bill. So I will acknowledge the hard work that went into these bills. I wish to acknowledge the good provisions here. But again, we have an executive branch, an Office of Management and Budget, and a president who I do not trust to even read, let alone follow, the words written on the paper that we are considering today. And so I don't think we can keep playing by the same failed rule book and pretend like everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay unless we enforce real accountability and demand that this president follow the law. And with that, I yield back.